there, it's Polly here in about 42, 43 degrees heat. What's up for you guys? 110, 115 Fahrenheit. Welcome to Perth. Anyway, so I got from Little Wars TV, I ordered Age of Hannibal, which is a great game, which I've reviewed. They just gave me a free game in with it. Wow, amazing. Thank you, guys. It's just in there for free. This is called Live Free or Die. Hern of the Hern reporting Hern. Yes, it is American War of Independence, American Revolution, which I have to say, as an Australian gamer, you look at it and go, what? Oh, yeah, I suppose you could do that. It hasn't really crossed out my... Oh, yeah, I guess that's a war. Very important to Americans, obviously. Outside of the USA, this is actually known more generally as the global war, because it was a war that, you know, spread to India and Gibraltar and Majorca and Malta and all through the Bahamas and the Caribbean area and all, you know, like this was a massive global conflict which drained British resources because, frankly, it's way more important to hold on to sugar islands in India than it is to American colonies that are costing you bucks every single day they're there. But anyway, yes, I had a look. All right, it is kind of a colourful period. It's a weird period, but it has a certain amount of charm and obviously deep-seated meaning to our American cousins. Be careful when playing it, because it's only a game, people. Don't invest political points in what side you're playing. Let's not do the what was it, the Patriot here. Oh, God help us. But so this is actually rather a nice set of rules. It doesn't really mention scale. However, photographs they got in here are of 15mm, which seems to work. So they've got kind of a nice system. What you've got in general is, obviously they were relatively small, dinky units that were being used in this war. So, I mean, we're not talking War of the Spanish Succession or 7 Years' War here. You know, so they've sort of had to zoom in. So you'll be running regiments that are made up of several bases of troops. Each of these bases, in a regiment, you're given a quality. It can be first rate, second rate, third rate, etc., etc., etc. They can also have some special things. They might be like rifles or whatever. British get a couple of extra abilities that the Americans don't. But kind of a cool thing is your units, as they do stuff, they take, is it disruption? I believe it's disruption. Yeah. So when you are fired upon, you take disruption. If you do strange maneuvers, such as like trying to stagger backwards while keeping your front towards the enemy, you take disruption. If units rout next to you that are your quality or better, you take disruption, because you see these guys go past. When a unit gets to 5 disruption, that's it. It sods off. So what you're trying to do is manage the disruption of these units and cause more than you're getting, which does mean that your ideal is to have fresh lines behind your main ones, because as these guys start getting dangerously disrupted, you want to leapfrog through or pull them back and have fresh guys, because you want these guys under no further stress as you try and have your leaders repair damage on them. And that's what your leaders do. You get different generals. The generals have quite simple ratings. They have stars on them and they have numbers. And the numbers, they give you the number of orders that this guy can issue, and the stars give him bonuses in combat and bonuses to rally. How charismatic and in there is this guy? So you might have a highly organized guy who's got a big number, you know, he's got a great staff, he's got lots of guys and so on, but he's not that charismatic, so he might only have 1 star. Hey, the general's with us. We do the general's with us. You know, or hey, this guy's amazing. I don't know, Bobby Lee, or you know, it's like fantastic. It's Lihorse Lee. Well, we love him. He's got lots of stars. It's a bit of a chaotic mess, but you know, but he's great to have in the front line. So, you know, again, the personalities come in. They sort of said, oh, obviously, each of these bases represents about 75 guys. So you will be building regiments with a number of bases depending on historical strength. It's like, oh, okay. Well, this is a really thin set of rules, as you can see. So it's like, well, I guess you're not filling me in on much historical strength, like as a newbie. However, they have a whole bunch of different orders of battle for different battles, which do have units and how many bases are giving them. So Germantown orders of battle, you know, Matthews Brigade, what do we got? The First Guards, First Class, 7 bases. Second Guards, First Class, 6 bases, etc. The class of your troops essentially gives them a bonus in battle. Essentially, you don't want to come up against guys. If you come up against guys who are a higher class than you, then you're fighting at a disadvantage. You can stop and shoot. You can kind of shoot somewhat randomly. You can deliver volleys. But if you deliver volleys, you don't get to move in the next movement segment. So if you are moving forward to volley, you grind to a halt and start doing that thing. Yeah, okay, fair enough. British get a bayonet charge that they can order, which is slightly more effective than the American charge. You know, it's got a +1 in melee. Now, what you're doing is you have a when you get into melee, you've got a set number of dice that you're rolling. Whatever, diddly, yeah, so every 2 bases rounded down. There you go. You're rolling a d6. It's all d6s, but you get extra depending what's going on. So if you're cavalry charging, you get some extra. If you're normal guys charging, you get some extra. If you're British, you get like, it's like 1 extra dice. It's not like decisive, but yep, this is their thing. It truly is, etc., etc. If you're defending, if you have defensive terrain to help you, etc., you're both roll dice and you're counting hits. 5s and 6s are hits. Whoever gets the most hits kind of wins that one, and then there's a little chart that you look at, and the difference tells you what has happened. So, yeah. So if it's 0, you're locked in combat. If it's just differed by 1 or 2, you might take disruption on both sides. If one guy's rolled like a really decisive, he's got like 4 hits more than the other, then yeah, he's going to wipe the other guy out. So, you know, a fairly simple thing. However, if you are being charged, you do get to do defensive fire against the other guy coming in. So it's actually rather difficult to do a charge if the guy you're charging is fresh, because those levels of disruption he's got affect his fire. So, moral of the story, if you try frontally charging completely fresh troops, they will do defensive fire on you, which is going to essentially turn you into a sieve. However, if you have done a ton of disruption on them and now they're getting substantial negatives to all that sort of stuff, a charge with fresh guys is going to be good, and that might be where cavalry are useful. Cavalry seem to be rare as hen's teeth, but I was trying to see, they're not substantially decisive in the game. However, given their extra movement, I'm guessing, unless they come under artillery fire and you've been fairly smart, you might have cavalry troops that are relatively fresh that you could hold off and use, you know, decisively. You can redress ranks if you're about 12 inches away from people. You can heal them up, slowly remove their disruption. So again, having a second line with maybe a second general running up and down who's rallying the troops while someone up the front is kind of leading the boys in, kind of a good idea. It's really a rather simple game. That doesn't mean it's a bad game. The tactical problems and the tactical challenges are all there, but again, you can teach this to someone very, very quickly. You're rolling a set number of dice per bases. That's going to give you a number of these chits that you're putting on there. That's a disruption. You get to 5, that guy's off. Try not to get it to 5. Better idea is to pull it back and rally it and heal it before it goes too crazy. I kind of like the idea that it's not just taking fire that's kind of, disrupting you, but things like seeing that unit next to you break. Or if some genius gets this great idea that you're all going to suddenly do a retrograde movement or something, which is throwing a unit into a certain amount of chaos, or your mighty general, forward boys, and he dies, then okay, then that's more disruption. It's psychological stress that we're looking at rather really than losses of individual bases. So it's kind of nice. Plenty of examples of play. Again, on their website, they have some scenarios and so on of this. You've got your most of the major stuff. So they've got like Princeton, well, they've got Germantown, Camden. So they've got three good setups for battles with maps and so on there. So look, for a free game, holy cow, this is look, you can't get better value than free. I have never played. I'm like a 17th, 18th century nut. That's my thing, and I have never actually played American Revolutionary Wars. I played plenty of other stuff, from this period. So I mean, in a way, like this would kind of interest me. I would be intrigued. Look, I have seen enough of it, like like I said, 17th, 18th century is my area of expertise. Some of the American units are quite colourful, and some of them are also total rubbish. Like a lot of these militias and so on. It's like, yeah, right, boys, what are you? What rate are you? 4th rate. Yeah. Look, I need you guys to stand stalwartly over there, all right, and just look meaningful on the horizon, because I really don't want you getting shot at by anybody. That's not going to be good for anyone. But yeah, like I imagine there's some cool units and Continentals and whatever, and obviously the British have got lots of guys, including lots of guys in Tarleton helmets. It's always a good day when you're wearing a caterpillar on your head. Let's face it. So anyway, live free or die. I imagine you can order it from this site, but the fact that they're tucking it in for free with other sets of rules, fantastic. Thanks, guys. A cracker of a game. Take a look at it. It's really good work. I would say 15 or 6 mil again. And so something you could get into without many worries. Bacchus do a great 6 mil. And I've seen a lot of 28s for this. I'm not sure who does 15s, but yeah, they'll be out there. So anyway, like I said, what can you can't beat free, but no, this is the rules I would have actually paid for. These it's good work and pithy, concisely written, very clear, easy to teach, easy to remember. Again, a great club set of rules and a great set of rules clearly designed to get players in and play. So well done to the designers. Thank you, guys. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the reviews, by all means, hit like, subscribe, all that jazz. Find me on Patreon, and I will see you guys next time round. Cheers.